Do not be afraid. These are the first words of Isaiah 43:1, and they echo across time straight into your soul today. The Lord says, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are known." Before you spoke your first word, God already called you by name. You are not a random existence in a vast world. You are a personal creation, chosen, shaped, and loved by the one who holds eternity. Isaiah spoke to a people who were broken, exiled, and hopeless. They thought their story had ended. But God stepped in and said, "Do not fear." This same voice speaks to you today in the middle of your chaos, anxiety, and silence. God is saying, "I know who you are. I know your wounds. I know your history. You belong to me. You don't need to prove your worth to be loved. You are loved because you were created by love itself." When God says, "I have redeemed you," He's declaring that your value has been restored. Redemption is not just forgiveness, it's restoration. It's the moment when everything broken in your story begins to make sense again, because God enters your pain and says, "This is mine now. I will use even this." Maybe you feel invisible, as if no one really sees you. But God not only sees you, He calls you. In the Bible, when God calls someone by name, He reveals intimacy and purpose. He called Moses by name from the burning bush. He called Samuel while the boy was sleeping. He called Mary in the garden after the resurrection. Every time He calls a name, He gives direction, meaning, and mission. When He calls your name, He is saying, "I'm not done with you." Isaiah 43:1 isn't a promise limited to the past. It's alive today. God is whispering, "Do not fear. I have called you by your name." This means that your identity is not defined by what others said, not by your mistakes, not by your failures. You are defined by who God says you are, chosen, redeemed, loved, and called. Maybe you've walked through fire lately, the kind that burns dreams and tests your faith. But in verse 2, God continues, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned." Notice that He didn't say if you go through the fire, but when. Trials are not proof that God abandoned you. They are the moments He walks closest beside you. The promise is not that life will be easy. The promise is that you will never be alone. Even when your heart trembles, even when your strength fades, He holds your hand. You belong to Him. He says, "You are mine." There's nothing more powerful than that. Not the opinions of others, not the storms, not the failures, not even your doubts can cancel the voice that calls you by name. So today, pause and listen. God is calling you personally. Maybe your name has been spoken in anger or forgotten by people, but when He says your name, it's filled with love, healing, and destiny. He doesn't call the perfect. He calls the willing, and He gives strength to those who answer. This is your moment to respond. Say in your heart, "Lord, I hear you. You're calling me by name, and I will follow." Because His call is not just to rescue you, it's to transform you. Every time He calls your name, He is drawing you closer to His purpose. Isaiah 43 reminds us that we are not random travelers. We are called children of the Most High. He has redeemed you, and He will not abandon what He redeemed. You have a name in heaven that only He knows, fully a name written in His heart. That's why you can rest. That's why you can walk without fear. Today, remember, your identity is not in your past, not in your mistakes, not in the labels others gave you. Your identity is in His voice that says, "You are mine." That's not a metaphor. It's a declaration of ownership, of love, of purpose. When God calls you by name, He's saying, "I have a plan for your life that no one else can live." So stand up again. Even if you feel weak, even if you've fallen, even if your heart is tired, He's calling you by name. and his call brings power. The same voice that created light from darkness is now speaking over you. And when God calls, darkness trembles. He's not calling you to perfection. He's calling you to presence, to be with him, because the safest place in the universe is not comfort. It's being close to his voice. Isaiah 43:1 is not just a verse. It's an encounter. Let that encounter happen right now. Breathe deeply and hear the whisper. Fear not. I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. If you receive this word, write in the comments, God knows my name, because he truly does.